Hey guys, Sean, Leslie Over Dummies. This is an impromptu video. Getting pressure from the big man himself, Mostafa. So if you follow along, this M17 is equipped with his upgraded bolt spring. This marker has 300, about 300, give or take a few rounds on this spring. I would say 100 of those are probably at pressures that you should never run in your M17. 100 of those are at 1,000 and 100 are at just your standard 850. I would like to reach 500, but he's wanting feedback now because he's getting ready to make another batch and wants to know if there's anything to change. So the only thing I would change as of this point, I haven't inspected this spring at all. But what I can tell you about it is it performed flawlessly at pressures up to 1100. When I went beyond, I had minor, a double shot, double fire. But you have to take into consideration, you guys don't know my markers like I do, and this regulator was problematic to say the least. It is also putting a lot more air through the marker. You can see this particular one is drilled right through. Normally when I did the drilling, I only drilled the front. In any case, that probably caused more of my issues than anything else. But it's worked flawlessly up to and including 1100 PSI, which is all you should ever run in your marker. Anything over that is at your own risk. If there's one thing I would change about it, that's what I'm about to try now. And can I run the BRH? So this guy, can I run that spring with the BRH and prevent the guide pin from ramming into it? So essentially what I'm saying is, does this spring have enough tension to prevent contact with the guide pin? So I've been testing that theory in this marker with my combination spring, which I showed you in the last video, and I will show you briefly again in here. That's a slightly longer and prevents the bolt from actually getting far enough in the breech here to make contact with the guide pin. So I'm gonna quickly disassemble this. We're gonna have a look at the spring, and pending it's all good, I'm gonna move it into my little baby here, and we're gonna take it for a test drive. I suspect once I move it into this marker, damage occurs fairly quickly when the bolt makes contact with the pin. So it's late here now, even though the sun's up. I'm probably not gonna test it until tomorrow, so you'll have to watch out for that one. But I'm just gonna pretty much flat put 100 rounds through this, and then probably open it up the following day for inspection and go from there. So let's just get to it. We're gonna inspect this spring. So put our marker on semi, just use my pick. Not a tutorial, we're just gonna go kind of whip through this. All right, so things you should do immediately whenever you open your M17 is just inspect. Like I said in the last video, this marker has gone through some serious abuse, so I definitely always check these common things. And tough to tell there. No, it's actually still tight. That's That's the oil squeaking in my fingers. This is the second time I've set this pin. I know I added a little ad lib in that last video there. I've reset this guide pin twice now. So this is a second reset, but well over 4,000 rounds. Any case, that's good. This is what we came to look at. You can see the spring has some deflection, which is pretty standard for any marker. That's really not an issue. What I'd be looking for here is coil separation. So do all the coils look even? And they do. The other is coil alignment. So kind of when you overcompress a spring, it kind of swells up and it kind of gets like a pregnant worm syndrome. I don't see anything wrong with this spring aside from the deflection. Like I said, that's pretty standard for any marker. If you've ever opened a VKS or FSC, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that is no different for the the M17. So you picture there, it's straight. I mean, and you can kind of rework it a little bit. It's not gonna hurt anything. All right, well, that's good. So I'll just set that aside and we'll grab my other guy here. Come on. All right. Come on. Oh, you're being a little bugger, are you? Cooperate. There you go. All right. Pins out. Obviously, I haven't fired this one yet since I reset the pin on video there the other day. So let's put the marker into fire. And we got to pull the BRH back and the bolt out and down. Come on. All right, so I mean, you can see this FSC spring. This spring was brand new when I had it in here. And you can even see there's a slight deflection on it. That deflection would be a lot greater if it was a full length spring. And obviously, as seen the other day, you can see this particular spring, if I can get it. This is the TIPX spring, and you can see one of these coils has kind of gone outside of its regular pattern here. You can also kind of detect it here. So that's no good. And that's what I was looking for on the Mostafa spring. And all the coils have stayed equal and the alignment is good. So this, on the other hand, I am going to reinstall it in the other marker because that's just how I'm going to roll it. While I got a part, I'm just going to look at the pin I reset the other day. I mean, Loctite set. No reason to think anything different. So let's reload this Mostafa spring into my BRH marker. Again, I gotta pull the BRH out. Oops, I'm doing this in the wrong order. There we go. Out, and then the bolt down. There go. Like that. And then release the trigger. Come on. There we go. Slip it past the sear, put it in safety. Latch it in. Oh, see, I'm crazy, and the spring clip's got to face the right direction too. There we go. See, that's how crazy I am. Look at, they have to be like oriented the same way. Strange but true, guys. All right, well, that's a quick and dirty. So Mostafa spring loaded in the BRH. My pin is nicely set, so it's pretty much brand new. And tomorrow we'll pound 100 rounds through that. Not at any crazy pressures. I'm just gonna use a standard 800, 850 PSI output because that's not what I do with this marker. Crazy outputs for that marker. So I'll put this one back together, but you guys stay tuned for that video tomorrow. And Mostafa, I know you're watching. I will update you with the video and obviously through Messenger. So catch you guys soon.